Hi guys, I'm Gasha. Welcome to the channel and welcome as always to our coffee times to discuss horror. And today I bring you my spoiler-free review of Night Swim.
It's coffee time!
So Night Swim is the first official horror movie that was released in 2024. I was excited about it, but I did keep my expectations a little bit low because we know what happens with January movies and it's also a Blumhouse movie. So I went kind of with reservations and I'm here to talk to you about it, as always, spoiler free. So if you've never seen my movie reviews that I used to do on my other channel, they are all completely spoiler free, so don't be scared. I'm not gonna spoil anything related to the plot or the twists or anything like that. I'm not gonna talk about the ending, so it's all spoiler free. I'm also currently working on fixing my movie background, so I have bought new furniture and I'm gonna make it really nice with all my collectibles on the background and stuff so that I can start recording my movie videos over there. But until then, we are stuck with the books, which is not a bad thing because with the books I feel like home. Anyway, without further ado, let's go now and talk about Night Swim. Night Swim is a supernatural horror film directed by Bryce Maguire, and this is his directorial debut. He did adapt this from a short of the same name that is under 4 minutes. It is free on YouTube to watch, and I did watch it, and I was curious to see what he was going to do with the concept of that short and turn it into a full-length movie. From experience, not everything that was a short before works as a full length. I would say for the most part, Night Swim is what you would expect a January movie to be. I think Megan last year was kind of like an exception that also came from Blumhouse, but Night Swim is your typical January Blumhouse horror movie. Forced into early retirement due to an illness, former baseball player Ray Waller moves into a new house with his wife and 2 children. He hopes that the backyard swimming pool will be fun for the kids and provide physical therapy for himself. However, a dark secret from the home's past soon unleashes a malevolent force that drags the family into the depths of inescapable horror. The story is centered around this family. We have a man that was one of the most popular baseball players, and due to an injury he has had to retire for the moment, and he's struggling with physical therapy and trying to get back to what he was physically and mentally. So his family decides to move to a new house, and they find this house that seems to be perfect because there is a beautiful swimming pool in the backyard and he can use it for part of his physical therapy. Plus, you know, they can throw parties there, the kids can have fun in the swimming pool, so it seems to be something that is going to be good for everybody. I did like that the movie decided to give each of the family members their own time on screen so that we would really understand how they're feeling about the situation, how the problems that the family has have impacted their lives. So you see, you know, the wife's point of view and the children, and it makes you kind of care a little bit more for the characters. Now, the acting itself, it's good. I think that they have good actors in the movie. The problem is that they were not giving a great script, so there was not much that they could do with the things they had to work with. So I don't think it's on the actors per se. I just think the script was not tight and the script was not as good as it should have been. And the pool is like its own character in the film. The pool offers something to everybody. Basically, the daughter wants to join the swimming team so she can use the pool. The father needs it for rehab, etc. So like the pool is kind of like its own character in the movie, and I was kind of expecting a lot from it because of course you just have one swimming pool and you have to work with that. So let's discuss what they did with it. The movie is basically about a pool, and we all know this, and a pool that is supposed to be dangerous, a pool that is supposed to have something evil within it. We all know that from the trailer, we all know that if we've watched the short, and this is a movie that is produced by James Wan and Jason Blum, but at some point I'm starting to believe that they would put out anything and you know, the quality is just not there in my opinion, even though people like James Wan are involved in this project. I don't really trust anything that says Jason Blum because he has touched every single movie that Blumhouse produces, But James Wan is someone that I've always admired, and you know, I am starting to feel like he's just accepting any job at the moment. And I'm feeling a little bit sad about it because now his name is attached to projects like this that I just don't think are at his level. But anyway, the pool is something that a lot of us can relate to. As kids, most of us maybe have had the chance to play in a pool, may it be from a friend, may it be from a hotel, when we were on holidays. We've all been in pools, we've all played, and we've all had this fun in the water, but also we all have a lot of respect and sometimes fear of the water. Now, the idea that a swimming pool might be evil or connected to some sort of evil, that it might be haunted, is a great concept. And I do feel like you can do a really good short with this, even maybe a little bit longer than the under 4 minutes original short. But is it enough to do a full-length movie? I don't know, at least not like this. I did feel like the movie dragged, and I did feel like you lose momentum with the pool and that it's supposed to be evil very quickly because of the way that they approach the horror. Now, I did love a lot of the shots that they did. There were some really interesting like upside down shots, and there were also some things that they played with the reflection in the pool, and I really enjoyed some of those shots. But then again, there were many things that were really cliche and really expected for this type of film. The movie has its moments. Like, there were moments that I thought, oh, that's nice. But in general, like all in all, I felt like the director was making the movie up as he was going. And it is really hard for the movie to make sense in a way. It was very messy, and I'm really sad in a way because I was expecting at least to enjoy the movie. But honestly, it was very dragging and the horror was quite disappointing. So let's talk now about the horror. The opening scene is kind of letting you know where the horror comes from. You are already warned that the pool is something dangerous. And I did enjoy the opening scene, but again, it's a scene that could be just used as a short and it would work and it would be effective. But then you get a full-length film that didn't quite work. I think the biggest problem that I had with the movie is that there were a lot of moments where it was supposed to be horrifying, but I found myself laughing. I don't think that was intentional. I think they were trying to scare us, and I had to laugh because of the effects, because of the way certain things looked. I just thought it was funny. I didn't think it was scary. I didn't think it was unsettling. I think they were going for scary and unsettling at other times, and it just didn't work. The movie also sadly uses way too many jump scares. I think they got too comfortable with the jump scares and there were just too many of them. The movie is full of tropes, you know. You also have the wife, which is the woman that realizes something is wrong and is trying to help her family, and she Googles and she knows there's something wrong with the family. And, you know, it has all of these horror cliches. And to be fair, I don't mind so much if a movie relies on tropes or cliches, but if they're using them wisely and to their advantage, which was not the case in this film. There's also some moments in the movie, and I'm not gonna spoil anything, but there's a lot of scenes where characters are acting in a way or doing things that are just not the way that a regular human being would react. And I'm not talking about, oh, don't go into the haunted house. No, like other things that are more subtle, that you know that they are forcing certain behavior on the character because they want a reaction. One of the scenes is when the daughter is playing Marco Polo and she keeps her eyes closed for a very long period of time, and I don't think a human like would do that in a regular situation. I think somebody would have already opened their eyes. Like I said, it's not a spoiler, but I just wanted to mention it because it's those things that make you understand how forced a lot of things were in the film and how the horror just didn't work. And of course, at some point, the movie is gonna have to try to explain to you why this pool is evil, why is this pool, you know, attacking people. And the explanation and how everything came about, it was just trope galore. It was just not effective. It was not creepy. It was just almost comedic. Like, I wanted to laugh, and I think everybody in the room in the theater wanted to laugh. And that's not a good sign. So what I'm trying to tell you is that not even the horror could keep this movie afloat. So I'm really sad to report that this year, the first movie from 2024, the first horror movie that I watched, is getting a 1.5 out of 5 from me. I know that's very low, but this is supposed to be a horror movie. The horror was not effective. the script was not great. It was boring. And there were way too many tropes that were just so bland, and I'm tired of seeing them. And sadly, I don't think they utilized the idea that they had in the best way possible. So obviously, what I'm trying to tell you is, if there's something else that you want to see in the cinema, go for that instead of these. I think you can wait to watch this one. I mean, I do love to watch movies in the theater. It doesn't matter what kind of movie it is because of the experience. But if you need to choose between movies, I would say skip this one. That's just my opinion. Alright guys, so I hope that you enjoyed this spoiler-free review of Night Swim. Let me know down below if you were excited to watch it, if you already watched it, what you thought of it. Keep the comments please spoiler-free for everyone else as well. And I hope to see you all, as always, in our next coffee time. Bye!